Hello traders, today's video we're going to be covering how to execute on a reversal trade. Let's get started. Alright traders, reversal trading. What to do and really what not to do. First thing that you're typically told not to do is to try to catch a falling knife. What is that? Well, let's say that we have bias indicators, and with all these examples say we're only talking about the execution. What that means is we're not talking about whether we want to buy or sell, we're talking about when we want to buy or sell and how we do it. Okay? What some traders caution others against, but people still do it anyway, is buying a falling knife. When the market's falling like this is not when we want to buy. Because sometimes it may work out, and yeah, maybe the market does, hey, shoot back up, but typically mean reversion isn't going to occur. I mean, it can occur like this because you can get examples that go up and then down like that, but typically the safer bet is not to try to reversal trade a falling knife or a price that's just spiking really, really high. It's to wait for significant bullish momentum. So let's say you're looking here, you haven't mistakenly bought anywhere here, you know, and you're waiting to buy, you're bullish. Well, we could buy here in this consolidation stop loss on, back to consolidation. This is the typical pattern that can occur before an uptrend where you see consolidation stop loss on and then return to the consolidation. That's typically bullish. But let's talk about a more conservative play where we can get a trend early in a reversal trade instead of trying to, you know, try to buy the falling knife. So what do we see here? Well, we see a significant amount of bullish momentum. So at this point, what you could do is look to place a limit order potentially here, and then maybe an order potentially here with the stop loss here. Let's explain the reason of really what's going on here because I don't want to just make this random. One, we are indicators that we're not talking about today, whatever. They told us we're bullish. Great. Two, we did not buy here. We did not want to buy a falling knife. Three, we see significant bullish momentum in price action and in volume, showing us that there may be a switch from a bearish trend to a bullish trend. Four, we put a limit order here because this looks to be a local support, and we put an order here because it looks like it's right above where some shorts may be wanting to break even. And a stop loss here really makes a lot of sense because if the market does come down, I doubt that it would come down to here and then reverse because a lot of traders who had shorted or bought here are probably going to want to get out at break even, which would prevent the price from going here. That would cause price to do something like this or like that. So that's probably not going to happen. All right, let's see how this one would have done with two limit orders and a stop loss here. So this one would have filled one of our limit orders. Let's see, fills another. No, it doesn't because of the significant bullish momentum. So what's going on here is this trend just switched from bearish to bullish. And now what we just did, we bought at 1308, and then we can decide, you know, when to take profit. This is a reversal trade. This may seem like an early continuation trade, but to me, this is still a reversal trade because I'm not a classic reversal trade. Maybe actually buying when it goes down. I mean, we kind of did that here when we saw this and then the pullback and we buy. But really what we're looking here is more early trend. That's where the money's made, really, is early. Well, I mean, that's easy for me to say because we're looking at historical examples, but still, these historical examples do play out in the future. And then here, we're going to look for when we see significant bearish momentum and that additional indicator that we could be using as well. So let's just see. Our position right here, let's say our stop loss is now here. Oops. Our stop loss is now here, and our position's here, and we are comfortable in a 2.5% profit, which could be more due to leverage. I would say hold. I'm not seeing any. Once I see a strong bearish move and then an up and then move back upward, that's when we probably want to get out. Or you can just take profit now, but for me, I want to see a significant reversal. I don't want to just jump out of this trend because there could be more juice. You know, there could be more of an upside. So a lot of consolidation. So now we see a little bit of market movement downward. Really nothing crazy. If the market, I believe the market can get a little bit higher, then we get this kind of formation where we have consolidation, stop loss on, move back to consolidation, and that'd be quite bullish if we can get a little bit higher, which we do there. Really nothing that's crazy bearish yet. Yeah, this is just a classic example of a weak stop loss hunt. You move back to consolidation, typically when you get that flat stop loss on, and then you go back, typically price goes up. So still, we probably wouldn't have taken profit yet, and yeah, price just keeps going higher. So do I want to, I kind of want to go to the next example, but this is a really good example of a good trade you have taken. So we see some bigger selling here, so yeah, you may want to potentially take profit up here. somewhere around here. Yep, so this could be a spot for us to take profit. And that's that. Maybe that's not the greatest spot. Maybe if price goes a little bit higher, that's unfortunate, but it's okay because we would have taken our profit there and made about a 5%. As you can see there. Great. All right, let's go to another example, and instead of hand holding, I'm going to show you guys this one. I think it's pretty clear what the overall trend is, okay? So the medium-term trend is, I think, a little bit more obvious. We have an uptrend. Now, let's say that our indicator says there's a lot of longs, this is looking a little bit more bearish, and you're looking where to execute on a reversal trade. Well, this is quite strong. This is quite strong bearish action. This could be trapping traders here, and this could be a move that begins the downtrend. So again, we could put one limit order here, maybe one limit order here, maybe one limit order right here, you know, a third of our position each of these orders, then a stop loss right there. And you can see one of our orders would have filled. Is that it? Okay, so it looks like just after I placed that, one of them would have filled here at the 4402, and then you're just deep in profit here, really. So what we're looking for us to get out of this trade is any significant large move upward, and then a pullback, and then we probably get out. So it looks like, or you could just take profit here because you're worried about price going higher, or if you didn't take profit right there, you would have seen that price just shot right back down. Yeah, beautiful. So either potentially you take profit here because you're a bit scared, or you hold and we get a beautiful downtrend. And do we see any significant bullish movement? Not really. Nothing. No crazy bull spike with volume and price moving, showing us that there might be a bullish reversal. Not really anything to tell me that this isn't just going to continue to be bearish. And yeah, so price keeps going down. So this would have been a pretty good trade, all things considered. Very good trade, like 14%. And let's zoom back and talk about how we executed this reversal play. We looked at an indicator that told us we are probably going to be moving down because a lot of longs are, you know, any indicator. You wait for that significant bearish action, and then what we do is we put multiple tiered limit orders near that significant bearish action with a weak bullish action and try to get filled with a stop loss in a reasonable place. Our stop loss was our stop loss was 5.6% away, but had you held, you're up, you know, 2.5 times that. Now like 3 times that. So I still wouldn't take profit yet. Okay, now this is significant bullish action. It's kind of significant bullish action. So are we going to see the bulls come back? Yeah, this is a time that we probably want to get out of this trend. I don't really want to hold here. Even if price goes lower, I think I would take profit somewhere around here on some pullback on that short. I just don't think it's safe because I think price could easily go higher. Okay, let's go into another example. We have Zcash also on Binance Futures. Now let's see what we see here. We see significant bearish action here, and what we want to do is probably place a limit order here, place a limit order here, and let's see what happens there. So one would have filled, yeah, and then price goes lower. And especially if price can go below here, then that could really take off on the downtrend. Sloped up highs. Yeah, we could get a lot of action if price can just break these lows. Okay, we still didn't break the lows. We actually just went equal to the lows there. So both of our orders would have filled here. And that probably would have hit our stop loss. I didn't put the stop loss on this one, but with this example, let's dissect with what happened. So because there are winning trades and there are losing trades, and this may have been a losing trade, what we see here is we see a pullback that does fill our limit order. This is great, awesome. Our stop loss is hopefully placed higher because you don't want to be here when that happens. And then we see price fall. But I think that the best time to have probably gotten out of here is when this just consistent bullish action just begins. This is just not really healthy. And then price goes higher. But still what you do see is that this strong bearish move that was minus 1%, I can see that right there, we get a bit of pullback, and this may have been the better time to have entered. How do we know that this is going to reverse the uptrend? Well, we don't, because in this local example, I can see a strong uptrend with strong volume on Zcash, okay? And then I see a decently strong bearish move here, which could easily just be the beginning of a retracement or a downtrend, but it's more likely than not if I see that much selling, it's going to continue. Especially when the bulls have kind of been weakening here. And this is a pretty good time where I think supply is overtaking demand, and you could have sold here. Unfortunately, in our example, slowing down here was not great, but it could have led to some profit. All right, BNB USDT. What do we see here? We see an overall medium-term downtrend, and we're looking to execute a reversal trade. Again, we could have bought in a lot of places. We could have bought, on this very strong move here, but that would have been not a good idea because that would have been catching a falling knife. We could have tried to buy when it broke the low, which is decent, but not great. Or we could have been a little bit more conservative. Been bullish here, wait for the significant move, and then look to buy on any pullback. So it looks like buying here is probably buying there, and then I'm actually going to put a stop loss right. Put a stop loss here. So it looks like that would have filled both of the orders, and there you go. And price goes up. So what's going on here? Well, we see significant bullish action in a downtrend, and we can execute a short-term reversal trade, filling limit orders here, and then price goes up, and this looks good. So one thing I do want to say is you don't always have to do it this way with executing reversal trade. What we're doing is we see significant bullish action, then we're buying on a weak pullback, or reverse with a downtrend and shorting. However, because the market order fees on Binance futures are so low, they're only 0.04%, and if you use BNB and if you use a 10% referral code, that can get down to something like 0.036%. Really not a lot for a market order. And these candles will go up like 1% in 5 minutes, 0.76, 1.23 in 5 minutes. So those market order fees aren't really that high. With that, you don't always now have to just wait for a pullback to fill a limit order. What we can do with this kind of new fee setup that's pretty cool is if you believe that price is very, very bullish and you begin to see significant bullish action, then you could look to buy in more places than just waiting for a pullback. Some examples is buying here, buying here, buying here, buying here. If we go back to TRX USDT, we look at, let's look at Atom actually. Yeah, so with Atom, instead of just waiting for a pullback back up to here, if you begin to see this very strong selling action, you're very confident that the bears are just in control, then market selling here is not a terrible idea. I know that sounds a little bit different from what I usually say, but times have changed because fees are just going to keep getting lower and lower and lower. And if you identify a trend and think you're getting a great price and put a stop loss, then that can actually be a great play. Just remember that with executing reversal trades or trying to get an early trend, your risk reward has to be really good because what you're banking on is that a very strong trend emerges, just like what happened here with Atom, where in this example, price actually ended up going down a lot. That's what we want to happen. What we don't want to happen is something like a risk reward ratio of 1 to 1. That's not really going to work well here. You're going to want a risk reward ratio of 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 or something higher than that. So with that, I hope that this video helped. And really just to recap what we talked about today was executing a reversal trade, not by trying to just buy a falling knife all the time, in a medium-term downtrend, but waiting for significant move against the trend, and then doing one of two things. Either trying to trade that direct move in the direction of the move, so very significant bullish action. You could try to begin to buy here, only if you're very bullish on your indicators, or you could wait for pullback to try to limit buy a little bit more traditionally. Oh wait, what are you doing? I accidentally clicked something. Those are the two ways that you could try to execute a early trend trade or this kind of more conservative reversal trade. All right, this has been Bitcoin Trading Challenge. Bennett. Happy to help. If you guys have any questions or experiences with reversal trading in a more conservative manner, put them in the comments. Bye-bye.